94% of high schools in 1995 have metal lockers. 68% of students share their combination with someone they trust. No camera records who opens them. No algorithm decides what matters. For one generation, every folded note, every first date, every hallway conversation happens once, then it's gone. That is what high school was like in America in the 1990s. And one afternoon in 1999 ended all of it. A row of metal lockers lines the hallway, cold to the touch and echoing with every slam. Each locker is a private world, 12 inches wide and 18 inches deep, holding textbooks, gym shoes, and secrets. 94% of high schools use these steel compartments. The combination is a code, 3 numbers spun and memorized, then whispered to a friend and sometimes traded like currency. 68% of students share their combo, trusting someone to open the door, to drop off a note, or to stash a mixtape before first period. The yellow combo card sits tucked in a pocket, numbers fading from being checked and rechecked in nervous hands. Locker vents become mail slots. Notes, folded into perfect triangles or rectangles, slip through with a soft metallic tap. Handwriting gives away the sender. Slanted cursive for a best friend, block letters for a group project, a quick slash or a heart for a crush. Sometimes a note waits all day, untouched, until the final bell. Sometimes it disappears before lunch, intercepted or lost in the shuffle. The hallway is a maze of trust and risk. No camera watches who opens which door. No log records the secrets passed through the vents. Every exchange is untraceable, gone as soon as the locker clicks shut. Privacy lives here, in the clang of closing metal and the quiet thrill of sharing a code. The only proof is memory, and sometimes a crumpled piece of paper at the bottom of a backpack. Inside the classroom, the buzz of fluorescent lights fades into the steady hum of a computer lab. Rows of beige desktops glow with the blue-green welcome of Windows 95. 71% of high schools have at least one lab by 1996, and most run this exact operating system. Familiar, sometimes frozen, always slow. The mouse clicks are sharp, but there is no internet for most, just a maze of floppy disks and shared folders. Files vanish if you forget to print them. Nothing saves itself. A dot matrix printer rattles in the corner, feeding fan fold paper with torn perforated edges. 45% of schools still use these printers in 1995, and the paper stacks up, accordion style, on the floor. The sound is mechanical, loud, almost comforting. Printouts jam. Cartridges run dry the night before a deadline. Someone always knows how to fix it, or at least how to whack the side until the page comes out. Calculators are everywhere, but not equal. The TI-83 is common. Half the math class has one by 1998. The TI-89, sleeker and more powerful, is a status symbol in AP Calculus. 13% of the students own one, mostly the kids who sneak in games during tests, passing programs on a cable in the back row. There is no cloud, no backups. If you lose your calculator, the work is gone. In this room, nothing is automatic. Every document, every number, every game survives only if someone remembers to save it, or print it, or pass it on. When the bell rings, the screens go dark. The moment disappears, leaving no trace unless it is on paper, in a folder, or in someone's memory. The cafeteria is a map drawn new every lunch period, but everyone knows the borders. Round tables crowd the center, claimed by varsity jackets and track hoodies in fall, Letterman sweaters in winter. Jocks cluster here, their trays stacked with pizza slices and chocolate milk. Voices rising over the scrape of chairs. At the edge, art kids guard their corner with thrift store flannel and sketchbooks, swapping fries for doodles and rumors. The band crowd drags instruments and sheet music, their cases doubling as seats when tables fill up. Freshmen hover near exits or huddle along the wall, balancing lunch trays and scanning for a spot, hoping for an invitation that rarely comes. Apparel codes speak louder than words. Airwalks for skaters, Doc Martens for the all crowd, team colors for the season's sport. A starter jacket can open a seat. A misread t-shirt can close off a whole table. Lunch money trades hands for a pudding cup or a coveted vending machine snack. Someone always forgets their ID and borrows a friend's to buy a slice. The unwritten rules shift with the calendar. After basketball season, the crowd at the center table thins, and drama club claims the space until spring. There's no group chat to coordinate who sits where. No snap to prove you were there. If you leave your spot for too long, it's gone. The only record is memory, who remembers you, and maybe a scribbled name on a lunch tray. Every day, the map redraws itself and the bell wipes it clean. After the last bell, the house phone becomes a battleground. 95% of homes have a landline in 1990, and every call is a race. A ring slices through the kitchen, echoing down the hall. Someone sprints past homework piles, past siblings to grab the right extension before the answering machine clicks on. If you are too slow, the blinking red light taunts you. Someone called, someone waited, and you missed it. The message plays out in a parent's voice, or a friend's, or the monotone of a crush who does not know if you will ever hear it at all. Numbers live in your head, your best friends, your boyfriends, your favorite pizza place. No contacts list, no search. You memorize each sequence, dialing by touch and hope. Caller ID glows on the kitchen wall by 1997 in 70% of homes, but for years, every ring is a mystery. You pick up, not knowing if it is your friend, your coach, or the wrong number from 2 towns over. Payphones wait outside the school, at the mall, by the gas station. A dime gets you 3 minutes. A quarter buys more time or a longer story. You huddle in the booth, whispering over the dial tone, hoping the coins do not run out before you say goodbye. Every call costs something. Money, privacy, the risk of a parent picking up in the next room. The line is always shared, the conversation never fully yours. In this world, absence is real. If you are not home, you are gone. If you miss the call, you miss the moment. The only proof is a blinking light or a scribbled number on a pad by the phone. The waiting, the not knowing, the hope that someone will call back. This is how connection feels when it can disappear in an instant. Dating in the 1990s means showing up, not swiping. A bike left on the lawn, sneakers on the porch, a nervous knock at the window after curfew. These are the first steps. There is no buffer, no digital script. You stand on the stoop, heart pounding, hoping someone answers the door. Sometimes a parent does. Sometimes it is your crush, hair still wet from a rushed shower, smile half hidden. Going steady means trading something real. A class ring looped on a chain, a woven friendship bracelet, initials scratched into a notebook margin. These tokens are heavy with hope and risk, visible to everyone who walks by your locker or sits behind you in homeroom. Plans are made in person or with a note folded into a palm, not a message that can be deleted. If you want to break up, you do it face to face. There are no texts to hide behind, no group chat to soften the blow. Public breakups happen in hallways, at the edge of the parking lot, sometimes in front of friends who pretend not to listen. The whole thing is raw and exposed. Afterward, you walk home alone, replaying every word, knowing there is no screenshot, no archive, just the echo of what was said and the way it felt in your chest. This is how you learn what it means to risk something, to be remembered or forgotten, to carry the weight of your own choices. Open campus means freedom. The bell rings and students pour into the parking lot, heading for persoals, bikes, or the sidewalk. No one checks passes. No cameras track who leaves or when they come back. A field party waits just beyond the edge of school property. Music from a distant pickup, the smell of cut grass, a circle of friends passing a soda can. Lunch is wherever you want it. The strip mall pizza place, a friend's house, a patch of shade behind the gym. If you are late at getting back, a teacher might ask, but most days nobody notices. The world feels wide open. That changes in a single day. April 20th, 1999. News spreads across televisions in the library and the cafeteria. Parents call in, voices tight. By the end of the week, the doors are locked. Staff check identification. Some schools post a printed helpline number by the entrance, taped above a note that reads, "Trigger warning. Security footage may be distressing." Metal detectors appear at 38% of high schools by 2004. But the feeling of being watched arrives much sooner. The open campus shrinks. Lunch is inside under fluorescent lights with a security guard by the exit. Old freedoms vanish quietly. The only record is a faded field party flyer tucked in a yearbook, the last lunch receipt from a corner deli, a handwritten note that says, "Meet by the fence no one will see." Moments that once belonged to memory alone now survive as fragile artifacts, hidden at the bottom of a drawer, untouched by any system that could ever track them. Fluorescent lights hum over empty halls. No record exists but memory. There was no way to replay the risk, the waiting, the freedom. This was the last untracked generation. Today, every moment is archived, but absence is rare. Leave the one memory that hit hardest below and subscribe for more stories like this.